Okay, hello first graders. Today we're looking at lesson 6-2. They're going to be asking us to collect and represent data. So again, data is just information that you collect and organize. And we're going to find that on page 359. So if you can please take out your books. Again, we're lesson 6-2. I'm going to share my workspace with you here. Go. So you can see 6-2, page 359. I see Marcia on that page with a basketball, and I'm going to go ahead and read the story up here while you follow along. What is your favorite activity to do outside? Ask several classmates to choose jump rope, basketball, or ride a bike. Complete the tally chart to show your data. Then answer the questions. Okay, so I know that we are in distance learning right now, so we can't take a survey with one another. But what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some numbers for each of the activities, and then we can fill in the data based on that. Okay, so a class was surveyed, and they were asked their favorite outdoor activity. 5 of the students chose jump rope. And so yesterday we looked at tally charts, and what I would like you to do is find jump rope on your chart, and we're going to make 5 tally marks there for the 5 kids who chose jump rope. Okay, so we're going to do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Okay, the next piece I want to tell you is that 4 children chose basketball. So we're going to find basketball. And here we're going to put 4 tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally, 7 children chose to ride a bike as their favorite activity. So ride a bike here, and we're going to mark 7 tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you know we group tally marks in bundles of 5. All right, so now we're going to use the data that we've collected to answer the questions down below. The first question is, which activity has the least votes? So least is just another word for smallest. So if I look here at my tally chart, I see that basketball only has 4 votes, right? In comparison to the other one, basketball has the least. So we're going to come here and we're going to write basketball. So for basketball, it's 3 syllables, right? Now, of course, you can always cross-reference it here on your chart, but we can also listen to the sounds. The first chunk is bass, basket is next, that's with a K, and then the final part is ball, b, and then all is a sight word, right? A-L-L, basketball. Okay, and again, if you need a reference point, there you have the word written right here in your chart. And then number 2, which activity has the most votes? So most is a synonym or a word that also means the greatest or the largest. So if I look here at my tally chart, that would be, you guys got it, ride a bike. That had 7, which was the most. So here I come back. I'm going to write ride. Ride. I'm noticing that I says its name, so it needs a magic E at the end. Ride a bike. Oh, there's another long I. That also needs a silent E at the end, right? Ride a bike. Okay. So just to recap, we collected data from children asking what their favorite outdoor activities were, and then we filled them in a tally chart. And finally, we used the information in the tally chart to answer the questions. Okay, but a tally chart isn't the only way to organize data. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the page. If you need more time, you can pause the video. We can turn the page and look at another way to organize our data. So we're here at the blue boxes on the top. It says Joey asks 9 friends a survey question. Here's the question. Which is your favorite sport to play? Basketball, baseball, or I'm sorry, soccer or baseball? Joey makes one tally mark to show what each friend says. Okay, so here are their choices again, basketball, soccer, or baseball. So using the information on this tally chart, how many children chose basketball? Right, 3. And then I can see 5 chose soccer. And how about baseball? 1, right? Okay, so they're going to now take this data and they're going to change it from a tally chart to a picture graph. And that's what you see here in this final box. It says Joey uses the data in the tally chart to make a picture graph. And you can see they call it a picture graph because instead of making a tally mark for each child that chose that sport, they use the picture of that sport. Okay, so the data, the information is the same. It's just represented in a different way. Here's tally marks, here's pictures. So 3 people chose basketball and 3 chose basketball. Here too, it's shown with pictures. There were 5 who chose soccer. Again, 5 that chose soccer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 that chose baseball and 1 that chose baseball. So the information is the same. It's just represented in a different way. Okay? All right, so let's look at the guided practice. The directions here says, Kurt asks his friends a survey question. Use the data he collected to make a picture graph. Okay, so here's the data that he collected, and you can see he represented it using tally marks, right? So he has a tally chart. And the title tells us a little bit about the question he asked, favorite fruit. Okay, so he was asking kids about their favorite fruit, and they had 3 choices, pears, bananas, apples. Okay, how many kids chose pears? Well, I see there's a group of 5 here, 6, 7, 8. So 8 chose pears. And then for bananas, 3 people chose bananas. And for apples, there were 5 that chose apples. Okay, so our job is going to be to take this data and put it into the picture graph. So again, I'm seeing 8 kids chose pears, so I'm going to draw. Now it has to be a picture, right? I'm going to go ahead and draw, and it doesn't have to be perfect, right? But I'm going to draw 8 pears. Okay, you can see there's a little leaf at the top. All right, and keep going. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally 8. All right. My next fruit is banana. So I'm going to come check how many chose banana. That was 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to draw 3 bananas. So 1 and 2 and 3. Okay. All right. And now I have one more category, which was apple. I come back here. I see 5 children chose apples. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in my picture graph 5 apples to represent that. Okay. So if I have 1, 2, 3, you can follow with me, draw your apples, 4 and 5. Okay. All right, so now I have my data represented both in a tally chart and in a picture graph. Now again, if you need more time with this, you can go ahead and pause the video. And now we're going to look ahead to your independent practice. So the independent practice piece asks you to use the data in the tally chart to make a picture graph. then answer each question. Okay, so there's noticing three things that they want us to do. They want us to use this tally chart to make the picture graph, and then we're going to utilize this data to answer the questions. Okay, so we just saw how that process works with number one in the guided practice, and you're going to be working on doing that same thing here. You can see the title is Favorite Rainy Day Activity. So this time they asked children what their favorite rainy day activities were, and they had a choice of games. So you can see how many chose games. Paint, that's how many chose paint. And to read, and that's how many chose to read. So you're going to take this data and you're going to fill in the picture graph to match. Okay, now remember, it has to be a picture, but it doesn't have to be perfect with a lot of detail, right? So if you're making a picture of a game, it can just be a rectangle. It doesn't have to have all the little details in it. Okay, just the best you can is all I ask. And then you're going to use that data to answer questions 3 and 4. Okay, all right. So that's going to do it for today. If you have any questions, like always, you can bring them to our Google Meet and we can talk a little bit more about it. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will be seeing you again very soon. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.